1 minute ago, the room changed. Not because someone shouted. Not because a clip went viral. But because Senator Dick Durbin opened a thick file, looked straight at FBI Director Kash Patel, and read a sequence of numbers so specific, so operational, that Patel's entire "nothing to see here" posture collapsed in real time. And then Patel admitted it, not with a confession, but with the kind of answer you give when the documents are already in the air and there's nowhere left to stand. Stay with me, because what Durbin claims is in these files doesn't just accuse Patel of mismanagement. It suggests the FBI's priorities were deliberately redirected, and the paper trail proves it. Picture the scene: Senate hearing room, harsh lights, cameras fixed, staffers pressed along the walls. This wasn't a discussion. Durbin didn't come for sound bites. He came with structure. The kind you only bring when you believe the witness is trapped by paper. Patel sat there the way he always does, controlled, composed, ready to deflect and run out the clock. But Durbin's file changed the rules. Because once something gets read out loud in that room, it stops being an argument. It becomes a record. Here's why this moment hits so hard. Durbin's framing wasn't, "I disagree with you." It was, "Your own operations tell a story, and I'm going to read it line by line." And he didn't lead with feelings. He led with numbers. First, Durbin dropped a figure designed to silence the room: 5,000 employees purged. Not "people resigned." Not "restructuring." A system-wide number meant to tell everyone watching, this is not normal. This is a campaign. Patel's face stayed still at first, because stillness is control. But Durbin didn't pause long enough for control to become a defense. He moved instantly to the next line, tighter and more dangerous, that he claimed the cybersecurity unit was cut in half. And that's when the air shifts, because cybersecurity isn't a partisan buzzword inside a Senate hearing. It's a national risk. It's infrastructure. It's the part of government you don't casually weaken without someone, somewhere, paying for it. Then Durbin widened the blast radius. He claimed 45% of agents in 25 field offices were redirected to mass deportation operations. 25 offices. 45%. Those aren't round numbers people say when they're guessing. Those are numbers people read off something that exists. And this is the trap Durbin builds. Staffing changes sound like management until you attach them to specific units, specific percentages, and specific locations. Then it stops sounding like policy. It starts sounding like control. But Durbin wasn't finished. Not even close. Because then he went to the topic that has been poisoning every conversation online for months: the Epstein files. He claimed over 1,000 personnel were pulled onto the Epstein review. Over 1,000. That isn't a task force. That's a reallocation of the machine. And the implication Durbin pushed is the one that makes people sit forward, that these personnel were allegedly told to flag the president's name. Whether you believe that or not, understand what Durbin is doing: he's building a motive and then anchoring it in manpower. If you can show who was moved, and what they were directed to do, you don't need a confession. The system confesses through logistics. Then comes the part that sounds small, but ends arguments. Durbin points to what he describes as an unsigned memo that reads, "No list." 2 words that function like a wall. Because once "no list" exists on paper, the public hears one message: someone decided the format of the truth would be erased. And now Patel is in the worst position any official can be in on camera, because there are only 3 responses left. 1. Deny the numbers. 2. Say the numbers are true but not directed. 3. Say the numbers are true and justified. But Durbin is reading the sequence out loud like he's assembling a chain. And every time Patel tries to escape into vague bureaucratic language, Durbin's file pulls the conversation back into specifics. That's why the witness starts to lose altitude. Because you can debate opinions. You cannot debate a document being read into the record without looking like you're hiding. This is where the admission happens in real time. Not a dramatic confession. Not "I did it." It's the pivot, the moment the witness stops pretending nothing happened and starts arguing about context. That's the under-fire admission, the shift from denial to justification. The shift from, "that's not real," to, "you don't understand why it was necessary." And once that shift happens, the room knows it. The cameras know it. Because if the numbers were fantasy, you would swat them away. You would correct them. You would challenge their source. But when someone starts hedging, reframing, stalling, when they start talking like they're negotiating with the record, that's when you realize they're boxed in by paper. So step back and look at what Durbin's sequence is designed to leave behind. A claim of a massive internal purge. A claim that cyber capability was cut in half. A claim that nearly half the agents in 25 field offices were redirected. A claim that more than 1,000 personnel were pulled onto an Epstein review. And a memo that effectively tells the public, no list. If even part of that is true, the consequence isn't just political embarrassment. It's institutional precedent, the idea that an agency can be reshaped at scale, and the only proof is buried inside staffing directives and internal memos until someone reads them into daylight. And that's why this doesn't end here. Because once hearings become document-driven, the story doesn't move by speeches. It moves by what gets pulled from the file next, and who can't answer when it's read out loud.